Awesome. I'm so excited to get to talk to you guys. Thanks for taking the time out.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I guess especially with the current Olympics in London going on, I'll just get started and ask a few questions and start with that one. I was wondering if watching the Olympics and having both been there yourselves, do you feel any kind of motherly or big sister kind of feel for the girls who are there now?
Absolutely. I think when you've gone through the Olympic Games and you're now an Olympian, you certainly have that instinct into you that you know what everyone's going through, you know what their body language means. And for me, it's been just so exciting to watch the gymnasts just blossom. And I've watched them over the last 4 years. And every quadrennium, it's a new group of girls. And it is so nice to be kind of their mentor and from afar and just watch them rise to the top and just see them have a really great games. And it's very special to me, but also watching the other sports that you don't necessarily see on TV all the time. It's really nice for our kids, I think, and maybe Jennie will agree that we get to expose them to so many different things that they would never be exposed to as far as sports go, and they're watching so many things all day long throughout, the Olympic Games. So it's really been an exciting journey as a parent and as with our family. The whole thing is just the Olympic spirit is something that's just a fantastic movement.
I agree with Dominique. It's been so much fun to be able to watch it this time as a mother and be able to see my son glued to the television cheering on Team USA and seeing all the different kinds of sports, and then him, emulating those different sports. And obviously played in the last 2 Olympics. I've met many of the Olympians there, and so I know a lot of them. So you just, your heart goes out to them. You want them to do so good because you know how much pressure they're feeling, and it all comes down to this one moment. And then I think too, it's so great to be able to see the parents on TV and be able to see their support system and the emotion that they go through. It definitely, as a mother, you definitely can feel for them, and you understand too, having been there as an athlete.
I completely agree. I have a little 2-year-old who's trying to play volleyball with everything right now. But I guess on that same note, each of you with your own kids, what are some of your kids' favorite events to watch right now?
Well, as of right now, my daughter's really been into diving. My son is more of my social one. He wants to talk to us during the whole games, and he's like, what's this? What's that? He likes the gymnastics, and he likes the track, and he's running in our living room, and he's doing sprints, and it's so funny to see him just trying to be like those athletes he sees on TV. And, my husband tries to explain, Mommy was there one day or once, and so it was really cool to kind of have that history and explain that to the kids. And of course, the Olympics are not our number one goal for our children, to make sure that they are doing sports and having that unique spirit of play when they do their sports and making sure that they're healthy and happy. And then if they choose to go on that Olympic path one day, we'll be there to nurture and support them.
I think too with my kids, it's just been everything. Whatever's on TV, they're into it, and they're trying to figure out, and it's been fun to expose them to the sports that they normally don't see on TV. And I know even my 1-year-old, last night we were watching the hurdles on TV, and he's sitting on the bed on the knees, and he's going like this up and down, and it was the cutest, sweetest thing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, he even gets it. He's 1 year old, and he gets it, and we're all, glued to the TV like, go, 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 go. And so he's sitting there on his knees cheering too, and in his little Pampers USA diaper. It was the sweetest little moment for me, being able to experience this games with my kids.
Great. I have just I guess kind of an individual question for each of you. Jennie, I was curious, in reading some of your bios, I saw that 27, your number that was retired in Arizona, was actually the date of your parents' first date. Was that just by choice or by chance that that happened?
It was by choice. I kind of stole it from them. 27 has meant so much to them, and it's kind of been their number. And then when I turned 11 and got to pick my number for my team, I was like, I'm going to take 27. So I kind of took it from them, and it's been just, it makes everything that much sweeter knowing that that's when your parents started dating and met themselves. And it kind of, they've been such a backbone and huge support system for me that it's kind of my way of taking them out on the field with me.
Awesome. I love it. And then, Dominique, I was definitely one of the little girls watching you at home in your trips to the Olympics, too. But I was just curious, you kind of touched on this a second ago. What is your goal for your kids? I mean, you're your parental relationship has obviously made news many times, but I'm sure you have your own dreams and hopes for your kids and the relationship you have with them. What is that like?
Well, my relationship with my kids is obviously one of a nurture and love and unconditional love, and I don't ever want them to feel that their love is based on performance. I want them to always know that my husband and I will love them unconditionally, whether they win, whether they lose. Just expose them to sports, but also show them how to be a good sportsman and appreciate, the people you are, in the field with, or appreciate the people that you compete against. Understand that, when you play internationally and you compete internationally, other people have different cultures, and understand and appreciate that. And ultimately, we want them to be good citizens. It doesn't matter if they go to the Olympics or not. If they're good human beings, I feel like we've done our job. And if, they want to do sports and go to the Olympics, that's the icing on the cake, and we'll know how to nurture and guide that, passion. But ultimately, they have to have a love and a passion, and it has to be driven by them. Of course, I'd love to see them do gymnastics, but they're already doing it, and they're enjoying that unique spirit of play. So right now we're in a great place, and later on when they have to make those decisions, we'll be right there to help guide them in the right way. But ultimately, I want happy, healthy kids who can look back at their childhood and say, you know what, thanks Mom and Dad, we had an awesome childhood, and I just want them to be good citizens.
So I was curious at the two of you, how you all are involved in your own communities right now. Do you run any workshops? Is it more from a business perspective, or what is your donation of your time like? Because you guys have just such valuable expertise and knowledge.
Sure, I think that's one of the best things about being an Olympian and having the experiences that we've had, is being able to be a role model. And it's been so great to finally be a part of a community, because I know for my husband and I, both being professional athletes, we were on the road a lot, and it's been such a joyous time to be able to really go speak to the kids in my community. And I do camps and clinics all over, and that's one of the greatest things about being who I am, is being a role model for them and encouraging young athletes all over to be the best that they can be, and encouraging them on their journey and sharing our experiences with them. And I know I was able to put together a charity softball game a couple weeks ago in our hometown of Sulphur, Louisiana. We raised over $200,000 for the Wounded Warriors Project, which was absolutely amazing. So I look forward to that next step and doing more of that within the community.
I echo the same sentiments that Jennie just said. Being able to be that role model is just one of the greatest blessings that comes out of being an Olympian. You can inspire a new generation, and you can have a lasting impact on those children. And I love being able to work with children, because they're so looking up to you for that bit of advice and for that bit of motivation. And if you can just be that person that gives that to them and touches them on the shoulder and says, you can be anything you want to be, you're destined for greatness, they really believe it. And I think that's just so important, to have those good role models in life. And then, of course, I'm very passionate, as Jennie had mentioned, about charities as well. I work with a lot of charities and a lot of different ones, and that continues to stay something that is near to my heart, a lot of philanthropic work.
So thank you guys both so much for that. I was also curious, since you've both been through pregnancy and the joys of motherhood and all those kinds of things, I write for a mom blog, Momstart, and so one of the questions our readers wanted to know is, what kind of advice can you give for staying fit during your pregnancy?
I think for me, it's just going with the flow. And, I know for myself, being a mom, when I work out, I feel at my best. And obviously, it's hard a lot of days to get up and get that workout in, but I know I'll feel that much better. And, I know that my recovery from pregnancy has been pretty smooth. And I think, looking back, I'll attribute that to me staying fit throughout my pregnancy, and even giving birth has been, a pretty, smooth process for the most part. And some days it's yoga, some days it's 30 minutes of walking outside with my kids, some days it's a jog. It all varies. Sometimes it's 10 minutes of jumping on the trampoline. So whatever it is, I just know that it is so important, not only for me to stay fit throughout this pregnancy, but it is for our little miracles inside of us as well.
And congratulations on your recent news.
Oh, thank you.
And Dominique, the same kind of advice? Just get up and do it and make it happen?
I think so. Like, Jennie had said, I too like to get in a workout, and I think being able to do that during a pregnancy is extremely important, even though it's probably one of the hardest times to do because you're fatigued, you're tired, and if you have little ones as well, you have to, balance it all and juggle it all. When do I have time? And thankfully, my play area, well, actually, my workout facility has a play area, so that has been extremely helpful, and being able to get a workout in and also know that the kids are in a safe environment and not have to hire a sitter. But everything changes when you become a parent, so you have to balance all those priorities and make sure that the kids are taken care of before you can go and do an activity. But it's facilities like that that make it possible, make it a lot easier for parents to work out and moms to get out there and say, look, we can bring the kids here, you don't have to drop them off anywhere. And if you can maintain that healthy lifestyle during your pregnancy, your postpartum days are going to be much smoother, I feel, and I've experienced that, with my pregnancies.
I think too, like Dominique said, and too, if you can include them in it. I know for myself, my 6-year-old will hop on the scooter, I'll get my 1-year-old in the stroller, and we'll just go cruise for 25, 30 minutes, and there's my cardio workout, and I got to be outside and enjoy that time with my little ones.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.